right, now we're going to perform a brake check. Wait for my chambers to fill up. Takes a lot of air sometimes. Oh my goodness. All right, we're going to begin this with an air supply test. Basically checking the entire vehicle for air leaks. We're going to start by making sure both of our brake valves are pulled out. And then we're going to verify that our gauges are 2 or below 90 psi to ensure that when we check our air governor, it actually builds air into the system. So I'm going to take some air out of the system. Currently at 120, I'm going to bleed it down below 90 psi. My gauges are below 90 psi. Primary's at 85, secondary's at 89. We're now going to do a safety start. We're going to push in the clutch, verify the transmission's in neutral. We're going to turn the key to the on position, verify the ABS light turns on, and then turns off. And we will now start the truck. We're going to double check our neutral position, slowly release the clutch. Now that the engine's running, we're going to wait for our air governor to cut out between 120 and 140 psi. That sound was the sound of my air governor cutting out. My primary air gauge is at 130 psi. My secondary air gauge is at 129 psi. All right, now that my air governor is cut out, we're going to place the truck into gear. We're going to push in the clutch. Put our transmission into a gear. That's to ensure we don't roll away. If you have an automatic truck, you may need to get out and use some wheel chocks to secure the vehicle to make sure it doesn't roll anywhere. Once we're in gear, we're going to shut the engine off. Slowly release the clutch. Turn the key back to the on position without restarting the engine. And verify our ABS lights are still working correctly on the truck and the trailer. All right, my truck is in gear, so we will not roll away. Next, we're going to check the air system for leaks. I'm going to press in both my truck and trailer valves, and I will hold my service brake. Once all 3 systems are filling with air, we're going to wait for these needles to settle. They will drop a little bit, and once they have settled, that is where we start our 60-second timer, and we cannot lose more than 4 psi in that 60 seconds. So here we go. 1, 2. You can hear the air fill the brake chambers. Get comfortable in your seat because we have to hold this for 60 seconds. I'm going to press and hold my service brake. The noise is gone. My needles have settled. I am currently at 100 psi on my primary air gauge and 99 psi on my secondary air gauge. This is where I'm going to start my 60-second time. As a reminder, we cannot lose more than 4 psi in this combination vehicle in a 60-second time frame. If we lose more than 4 psi, it means we have a substantial air leak and this truck is not safe to drive on the road. If you do not have a trailer and you're doing just a single vehicle tractor, it is 3 psi in 60 seconds. All right, 60 seconds is up. Our primary air gauge is still at 100 psi, and our secondary air gauge is still at 99 psi. This truck has no leaks. The next step is to verify that our low air warning light is functioning. The low air warning light will come on at 55 psi or above. In order to get that low air warning light to come on, we're going to fan our brakes to take air out of the air system. My low air warning light is on. My primary air gauge is at 70 psi and my secondary air gauge is at 78 psi. The next step is we are going to make sure our tractor and trailer valves pop out. They need to pop out between 20 and 45 psi. In order to do that, we're going to fan our service brake just like we did for a low air warning light, and we're going to watch our valves and we're going to make sure they both pop out 20 and 45 psi. Another thing to note while you're working on your valve pop-out test is to keep your hands away from the valves. The valves need to pop out on their own. You cannot assist them. We're going to start fanning those brakes. All right, both of our valves have popped. Primary air gauge is at 21 psi and the secondary air gauge is at 25 psi. All right, the air supply test is done.